as I take you to some of the most breathtaking views in North Yorkshire. A mixture of seascape and moorland countryside. I give you a kingdom at your feet.
As we look across to St Mary's Church, it is one of the town's oldest buildings, which has served the fishing community for countless years, and it is still Scarborough's parish church. Standing by the harbour side, the castle stands proudly 300 feet above sea level and can be seen from numerous vantage points around the town. Today, Scarborough enjoys a booming tourist trade, which attracts many visitors to the town each year. Across the water, the spa and surrounding buildings have something to satisfy and enchant all tastes. As I walk through these gates, I can feel the atmosphere and history that lie behind these magnificent stone walls. Its first occupants formed a settlement as far back as the early Iron Age. It became a Roman signal station in the 4th century to give protection against Saxon and other sea raiders. It then warned inland garrisons that enemies were approaching. It was actually built by William le Gros, who led the army of Yorkshire barons at the Battle of Standard near Northallerton in 1138. Many kings visited here: John, Edward, and later Richard III. Many years later, in 1645, it survived the Civil War, and more recently, in the early 20th century, the German bombardment in 1914, when the keep was damaged and the 17th century barracks almost entirely destroyed. Just 100 yards from the castle, we approach St Mary's Church. No building in Scarborough has a more turbulent history than this 800-year-old parish church. During the Civil War, St Mary's was used by the parliamentarians as a forward position for bombarding the castle. Inevitably, the castle returned to fire, destroying the beautiful medieval choir and north transit. Today, the ruins still stand at the eastern end of the main church, silent witnesses to the fearful destruction of 1645. Visitors with a more literary bent retire to the quiet corner in the church garden where lie the remains of Anne Bronte, or to enjoy the panoramic views of the South Bay and far beyond. The Buttercross was once the meeting point for visiting preachers. or the town crier would read official proclamations here. Believed to date around 1670, it was first erected near the present-day market hall, where the locals would sell their wares, as they still do today. Bar Street, in the town centre, is one of Scarborough's oldest streets. Traders here have retained the atmosphere of bygone days. Leaving the town behind, we see the fishing boats returning to harbour. The close-knit fishing community still survives today as it did many years ago, when this was Scarborough's main source of income. As each vessel comes into port, the seagulls wait patiently for their supper. The main fish caught are cod, haddock and dogfish, while bottom trawling produces skate, sole, plaice and turbot. A fish auction is held with buyers coming from all over the country. Crabs and lobsters caught here are very popular with locals and visitors alike. A mouth-watering delicacy for lovers of seafood and readily available at the harbour stalls. Just minutes away from the harbour stands this magnificent building, the Grand Hotel. Built in 1845, the Grand was acclaimed as one of the best in Europe, and it is still as popular as ever. Built with 12 floors to represent the months of the year, 365 bedrooms for the days of the year, and 4 domes to represent the 4 seasons. Across the cliff bridge to the spa, we see some of the most breathtaking views of the town. In 1626, Mrs. Farrar, a respectable Scarborough lady with an enquiring mind, noticed water flowing out of a spring in the South Bay. By drinking the water, she found it beneficial to good health. With the help of her friends, this good news soon spread, and so Scarborough Spa was born. There are so many interesting places to explore. The Brunswick Shopping Complex, officially opened October 1991, consists of a rare assortment of boutiques, cafes and fascinating shops. Even Scarborough has moved into the 20th century. With the South Bay behind me, we are now looking at the spectacular views of the North Bay, giving a totally different scene. In summer, it is a place to wander and enjoy the natural beauty of the Castle Dykes. Both bays are easily accessible from the Marine Drive. Winter is a different story. Waves pounding the Marine Drive, attracting people from far and wide to gaze in awe at the mountainous, towering waves flooding the roadway. Peaceholm Park was the brainchild of Harry W. Smith, the town's borough engineer from 1897 until 1933. His creative genius has endowed us with one of the most beautiful landscape parks to be found. This site, once known as Tucker's Field, was transformed by Harry Smith to his vision of the well-known willow pattern. He used a stream that ran through the site and created a lake by excavating around the hillock. Approaching the park from the glen, we once again notice his emphasis of the willow pattern effect. Time stands still as we listen to the band playing on its island stage, or as we lazily canoe around the lake, enjoying the peaceful setting. Later additions to the park have included a pagoda, boathouse, cafe, and a tree walk, which delights children of all ages. Taking the lift from the corner cafe, we have spectacular views of the North Bay. From the open-air pool below, shrieks and laughter can be heard from the happy holidaymakers. Apart from the usual delights of swimming and basking in the sun, just around the corner, the miniature train is heard returning from Scarborough Mills. we look across the beach, the children are being entertained by the local beach show. As the sound of the holidaymakers disappear, only 1 mile away is the peaceful setting of Throxton Mere, only disturbed by the ducks enjoying their swim in the summer sunshine. Across this colourful landscape, we take the road down into the picturesque village of Scarborough. The name Scarborough is Scandinavian in origin and means hut or abode, or perhaps in modern language, village or hamlet. The church, dedicated to St. Lawrence, is pleasantly situated. The graveyard is a peaceful place to wander around and explore, having many interesting epitaphs. The first burial here was in 1556. As summer changes to spring, each season brings its own splendour. The elevated site of St. Lawrence's and Scarborough Beck flowing in front gives a sense of peace and tranquility. The first records of the village date back as far as 1086. In the 12th and 13th century, it was a royal forest and nearly all woodland. In autumn, I love to see the falling leaves along the avenue of lime trees, giving Scarborough a special beauty of its own. Leaving Scarborough village, we ascend Silver Moor to the area known as Turkey Carpet. Most of this land belongs to the Forestry Commission. We are now looking north from Reesty Bank Top on this cold winter's morning towards Ravenscar, Robin Hood's Bay and the surrounding areas. The Ravenhall Hotel is situated at the heart of the glorious Yorkshire moors, perched on the hilltop and having spectacular views to the sea and Robin Hood's Bay. Visitors from around the world flock here in the summer months, when the gardens are ablaze with colour and sun worshippers lay around the hotel's open pool, while golfers try their handicap at the hillside golf course. A piece of heaven put on earth. This is Robin Hood's Bay. Thousands of visitors flock here during every season to discover its ancient charm and quaint beauty, to wander through its many cobbled passageways, finding the unusual gift shops and notable art galleries, not forgetting its old world public houses.
I'm from Bielefeld, from Germany.
From Germany, that's marvellous. Do you know you have town criers in Germany? And I have a friend who's a town crier in Lubeck, and he wears a Kaiser helmet, you know the Kaiser helmet, with a spike on the top, and he's very impressive. He's got a good voice, yeah, and he does all his cries in German. When he comes to England, he does his cries in German, and all the British public are very impressed.
He comes to this region too.
Oh right, he comes and visits me in England.
And you cry together.
And we cry together. Why not? Well look, enjoy your stay. Have you been around the area? Have you been to Scarborough?
Yes, we've been to Scarborough, Whitby.
You enjoy it?
Yes, I enjoyed it very much.
Well, promise to come back again.
Yeah, it was my third time
Third
to
time?
Robin Hood Bay now.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye. Bye. Disaster struck the bay in 1780 when fierce gales and heavy seas caused many of the cottagers to subside into the sea. Nothing was done at the time, but in 1975, over a century later, the highest seawall in Britain was built, 40 feet high and 500 feet long. It ensures that no more of Robin Hood's Bay will disappear beneath the waves. Fishing thrived here in the 18th and 19th century, and today, Bay, as called by the locals, is still one of the best crab fishing grounds on the northeast coast. It was here at Whitby Abbey, during the rule of Hilda, Caedmon, an illiterate cowherd who was employed on the Abbey lands, had a vision which inspired him to sing his song of creation. He became a brother in the Abbey and is remembered as the first English poet. The Abbey was dissolved on December the 14th, 1539, when it was valued at £437, 2 shillings and 9 pence. Descending the 199 steps down to the oldest part of the town, we find shops selling lignite or brown coal, known as Whitby jet, and is used to make jewellery, toys, buttons and ornaments. Whitby is proud of its association with famous men and its close and continuing links with the sea. These reveal the up-to-date fishing methods, as opposed to the natural decline of Whitby's whaling, shipbuilding, sail and rope-making activities. James Cook, born near Whitby in the village of Marton in 1728, served his apprenticeship on Whitby colliers and now stands on the west cliff looking out to sea, one of England's noted surveyors. Captain Cook is ranked as the greatest sailor explorer of all time.